Abraham. Nice to see you again. Boy, I really feel conscious by the microphone. A few weeks ago, no, probably a couple of months ago, there was, I heard you mention something about breathing. In fact, I believe you started, or part of the segment, it was actually inside the answer. Inside the answer was not the subject of the question. But you actually started by saying that this is the technique of all technique in letting go of, in allowing. That really got my attention when I was driving. So, well, that's it. If I can hear this, then that's all there is to know.
You're right.
Because the rest is automatic, like you keep saying. I mean, the wanting, the receiving, all of it is there. It's all this there's left to be done is to allow. So when I heard you saying that's the technique of all technique of allowing, I had to maintain control of my freeway. and surprisingly, no, you didn't go on, you only talk about it for a couple of minutes, and you kept it very simple. I was just hoping you could maybe expand on this idea of using breath, breathing, something as basic as breathing to allow, to put us in a place of allowing.
Well, you are very wise and accurate, as you say. Everything else is taken care of because the contrast causes me to launch desires, and source becomes one with the desire and sets up all of the universal forces of attraction in order to bring it about. And so the only thing that is for me to do in my physical form is step 3, which is get out of the way and let what I've asked for and what source has already become be. Let myself stay up to speed with that which I've become. And so the reason that we say that breathing, focused breathing, is the most powerful process of all processes is because when you are focused upon your breathing, really focused upon your breathing, you cannot be focused upon something else at the same time. And in other words, you cannot worry about something and focus upon something else at the same time. So as you focus deliberately upon breath, what begins to happen is you allow the energies of your body. In other words, just breathing brings oxygen into your body, and the oxygenation of your blood is more extreme. All things about your body begin to improve just with that breath. But besides the physiological effect of bringing more oxygen into your experience is the focusing, which at the same time that you're bringing the oxygen in, you are less likely to be resistant, which means that the cells that have been asking for all of this rejuvenation are now being enhanced on 2 fronts at the same time. And so as you breathe more and more deeply, what begins to happen is you begin to feel your resistance lifting. And as you begin to feel your resistance lifting, you begin to feel yourself feeling relief, which is your evidence of actually turning more into the stream and allowing yourself to go. Really, it is the answer. It's the best part of meditation. It's the best part of yoga. It's the best part of running. It's the best. There is so much that almost everyone that talks about being in the zone is doing something that causes them to breathe more. So it's interesting, however, that the idea of just sitting and breathing more is a little bit more trouble than most of you want it to be or would think that it is. In other words, breathing on purpose takes some focus. And most people, we wanted to tease you a little bit and say, well, we don't need to talk about it more because it's so simple. Breathe more and thrive. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 3 is breathe. But the reason that it seems to take more convincing is because it does take some attention and some focus in order to breathe. When you breathe deliberately, if you are running, let's say that every day you are taking a brisk walk and you are bringing in more oxygen. Have any of you noticed the improvement of your mood when you walk? Especially when you walk by yourself, which means there's nobody walking with you who is complaining or to whom you can complain. Mm-hmm. In other words, you're less likely to complain out loud anyway when you're by yourself, and so these are other advantages. In other words, you're walking, you're taking in the oxygen, you're focused upon whatever it is you're doing with your body, and you're thriving on all fronts, and that is why.
Okay, so the crux then is the absence of thought, because I'm focused on my breathing.
The absence of thought or the absence of resistant thought. And
Right.
so what running does, you're focused upon what you're doing. And so there's no resistant thought. What sitting and breathing deliberately does is you cannot focus upon something that's bothering you and upon your breathing at the same time. And wait, let us give you what is at the heart of this. You are a being made up of beings. You have trillions of cells that are all vibrational, and they all, without exception, benefit by the oxygen that you're breathing, by all that is contained within the air that you're breathing, and by the energy that you are allowing. So your deliberate breathing is more beneficial because of the energy than it is anything else. But everything that comes with it is beneficial to your body too. So think about it. I've been saying all day long today that every point of consciousness, you thought we were just talking about you when we were talking about every point of consciousness, including the one-celled organism or the cells in your body. So the cells are having their exposure to experience, and they are launching their rockets of desire into their vibrational escrow. And guess what those desires that those cells are launching are all about? Your physical well-being. So there's this huge vibrational escrow, which is the culmination of what the cells in your body are asking for, that is there for you to breathe yourself into alignment with. It is very powerful.